Hello everyone, this video is going to be me riding and tacking up, so come along with me. So this is obviously sped up of me tacking up. I love this new saddle blanket that I got. I love it on him, it's so cute. And I obviously love my new saddle. It's a double T 14-inch barrel saddle. It's kind of cheaper made because double T isn't very expensive, but well, it fits better than my last saddle, so love that. I want to paint it, so I'm going to do a tutorial on how I paint it because it is painted leather. That was me stopping and watching a car that usually flies by, like she usually goes 45 miles an hour down our dirt road, so this is his first time tied up to this trailer right by our arena, and so I was like, please don't spook, please don't spook, please don't spook. And then this is me tacking up. He's a tiny bit cinchy, like, I don't know, he does not like being cinched up, and I think it's because he knows he needs to work, and he's usually a really lazy horse. He's like really lazy for a 4-year-old, and a lot of people are surprised when I tell them that he's only 4. But like, to me, he just has a baby face. Like, he looks like a baby to me. But a lot of people think that he's like in his higher teens, early 20s. And I'm like, no, he's 4. So luckily he was kind of not paying attention to me cinching him up. He was like distracted about a noise that my sister was making. And so he was like spaced out and wasn't really realizing what was happening until it was done. Not all of my tack matches, so it's like my orange saddle with a red breast collar, a red horse blanket, and then I got a new bridle from Weaver for Christmas, and you'll see me put that on in a moment, but it looks almost purple. Like, this bridle almost looks purple up close, like the leather, and I'm just like, it's not like painted or anything weird, but like, it's just the way the leather is, or like whatever sealer they used, it turned it purple. Yeah, so all of this red on a red horse was not the best idea, so I'm going to I'm going to paint my saddle. And so if you guys want a video about that, just leave a comment. He's such a good boy. Okay, this is me lunging. I sped it all up because it was about an hour and a half between everything. Like, I skipped all the grooming and everything and just put tacking up. But yeah, this is him lunging. Usually he does not like to lunge very well. He keeps wanting to yank his head down to eat grass, but today he didn't have that problem very much, which I'm really happy about, because the more he has that problem, the longer it takes for me to get on, and just the longer everything is. I do use a stick. I do Clinton Anderson natural horsemanship, but it's also tweaked, so it's not all aggressive. This is me getting on, my dad helping me. Red does not like to stand still for mounting. He needs somebody to like stand with him, and I don't know why, like, he will not stand for mounting, and so I need to really work on that with him. And then I sped everything up. This is us just riding along. We kind of just walked because I hadn't ridden since last Friday, and so close to a week. And then before that, I hadn't ridden him in a while because of weather. But I've just been doing a lot of like slow barrel work since I fell off, or since he bolted with me and I got thrown off, is what I should say. I haven't been as confident, especially in big areas. Like, I'm not as confident to canter or really trot even, because I'm worried that like he could just dart in a different direction and I'm gonna fall off. And it's kind of scary. Like, even though trotting doesn't look fast from the ground or from a video, when you're in the saddle and you're insecure and nervous and wanting to trot, it feels so much faster. Or it feels like I'm trotting for longer than the 4 or 5 strides that he did. Like, it feels so much like enhanced, I guess is what I could call it. It feels different. And as somebody that's a beginner on a beginner horse, not a beginner horse, on a green rider on a green horse, it definitely takes a lot longer. I've had him since October and I've only cantered less than a handful of times, and I normally trot, but after I fell off, I lost all my confidence in the saddle. I was nervous to get back on him, and I fell off in my old saddle, which didn't fit him perfectly. And so what happened was he had spooked, bolted with me, and then dodged a T-post. And when he dodged the T-post, the saddle shifted on him and I think that's why he started bucking and he threw me off, because like the saddle was all wonky on his back when I found him, because he had ran back to my miniature horse and his pen. And so I was like, after that, I was like, nope, I am getting a fitted saddle. I want a saddle that fits. I want a saddle that does not go anywhere no matter what. It is going to stay there. And so I found this saddle. It still doesn't fit perfect. It can be a tiny bit pinchy on his shoulders in one spot. But like, it was either that or my old saddle that it didn't pinch him, but it didn't fit right. And this saddle is more comfortable for him and for me. This might not be the saddle I keep forever, but it's what I have right now. So please don't come for me in the comments. Yeah, just a lot of slow work on the pattern. I've been trying to find more like training videos to watch, but sometimes it's really hard to find ones that are like beginner friendly. I don't know. I cannot steer with one hand while trotting for the life of me. I usually have my hand on the horn pretty much the whole time. I cannot take my hand off that horn or I feel like I'm going to fall off. It's just a sense of security. And that's kind of why I wish I would have started English maybe first, because if I would have started English first, that horn wouldn't have been an option and I would have learned to go without it. But because I have it, it makes it nice in a lot of ways, but at the same time, like, sometimes I feel like I'd be better off without a horn, because then it would just force myself to do it, to have 2 hands. And I really need to push myself to be able to trot and canter with 2 hands on the reins, because like having one hand on the horn while turning a barrel is different than just going in a straight line. I get worried because he is a younger horse, which a lot of people probably thought that I made a mistake with getting a young horse, but it felt right. Not just getting a young horse, but just when I went and saw him, he felt right. And so I think it was definitely worth it. It wasn't something I regret. I definitely don't regret getting a young horse. So this is me trotting, and I'm gonna trot right into oh, I slowed down, oops. Kind of like, sometimes I'll stop and I'll like bounce myself up and down the saddle, or like before I get on, I'll grab the stirrups and I'll like shake them to see what he does, like if he has any reaction to the stirrups like flapping on his sides. And like sometimes I'll bounce in my saddle Not like to hurt him or anything, just a little bit to see if like anything happens, kind of. Since he is still a young horse, I like to sometimes also do things like that. He does spook it quite a bit. Oh my gosh, the dust that comes off of this horse. I brush and brush and brush, and I cannot get the dust off. If anybody has any like suggestion, I curry comb and I stiff brush and what is it called? I can't think of the name of the brush off the top of my head. I completely drew a blank, but it's the like circle one that has metal spikes. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I use all of those and nothing works. How the heck do I get all the dust off of this horse besides blanketing? I don't blanket. Usually our winters get pretty cold, but this winter has not gotten cold. Like the lowest it's gotten is not very far at all. So in this next part, I'm going to trot and then stop and do a few turns towards the fence. I immediately thought of a video that I had watched about this man called Tim. I think it's Tim Anderson. And he did where he liked to turn his horse towards the fence instead of away from it, because it teaches your horse, like, they have to use their hind end more while turning, facing a fence than not facing the fence. And so I want to try it, and I feel like he did pretty well. I want to see what he would do and stuff. I'm not afraid of trying things with him, just as long as they're slower. But trying things with him while going fast is where it gets scary. Just because when we go slow, I'll be like more prepared if he were to like, I just feel like I'll be more prepared if he were to like react to something. Or if he were to do the little like thing where they spread their front, like the jump that they do. I've had him do that a few times. Does anybody else absolutely hate when their horse shakes? Like when they shake their neck, they stand and they like stretch out their neck and they like shake their neck, and then you know that they're about to shake their whole body. I hate that. I don't like that in a Western saddle. I cannot imagine a horse shaking like that in an English saddle. I feel like I'd fall out. I really want to try English. I also feel like maybe English will give me a better seat. Like, I don't know. I want to dabble in both. Definitely Western is my main, but I really at one point want to try jumping. I mean, I know this guy can jump at least 3 feet. Haven't seen him do it, but I know he can. He jumped our fence, actually. He jumped a pallet, a solid wooden pallet, which was about 4 feet tall, that was blocking him. He was in one part of the pen. I took Charlie out to my round pen, which Charlie is my miniature pony. I took him out to the round pen, and Red didn't like that. He was left behind, so he jumped this 4-foot solid wood pallet. He jumped it in with my sheep, and mind you, this horse is only 14 hands, and he jumped 4 feet in with our sheep like it was nothing, at an uphill too. I was so surprised, and like I was just freaking out. I was like, how did this happen? So I know he can jump, and I would not want to jump 4 feet anyway, so definitely don't have to worry about that. So I know he can definitely jump with somebody on his back. If he can jump 4 feet alone at an uphill, then he can jump 1.5 feet to 2 feet with me. I mean, I'd assume so. I was wearing a microphone the whole entire time, and I hooked it to my phone, and I didn't plan on doing a voiceover, and the microphone disconnected. He just stepped on my foot on accident, and it was my fault.